I want, before we start, to try another small game or challenge with you guys. So if you would go to Slido, you can go to slido.com and use this code 97222. And I want to see, how are you feeling today? Is it working?
Yes.
So as you can see, we're creating together a small word cloud. So we have a competition between the creative and the anxious. I must admit, I feel both of them also. So most of us were feeling happy. Happy is winning. It's not a competition, of course not. But it's so beautiful to see all these feelings and how we build together one word cloud. Thank you so much for joining this word cloud. I will share with you guys, if you want, at the end, the final results with all the participants. So good morning again, and thank you for joining our 4th edition of the virtual morning coffee. And thank you for having these 2 small games before everybody else joins in. We usually have, during our virtual morning coffees, to also get to know each other a little bit better. The beautiful option from Zoom, which is called the breakout rooms. So with the breakout rooms, you will be randomly divided in some smaller chats, where I encourage you to get to know each other and maybe share what new hobby or passion you discovered recently, or maybe what new book you have read, taking into consideration that yesterday it was the World Book Day. So I will create the breakout rooms now. You have 3 minutes and you have to add join. Welcome back, everybody. How was it? Okay, thank you again for joining our 4th edition of the virtual morning coffee, and a special thank you to Gabi. Gabriel, he was our speaker in January 2009. He explored with us a very interesting theme, which was called surreal. Gabi is a dear friend of mine. He's a writer, a poet, a father, an event organizer. I think last year or 2 years ago, he had a very exciting project called Read and Write, through which he took the bike and 10 books, and he read 10 books in 10 countries and traveled for 40 days in over 4,000 kilometers around Europe. So without further ado, thank you, Gabi, for accepting our invitation and sharing a morning coffee with us. Gabriel Bota, everybody.
Good morning. Hey, good morning to you all. How are you? Everyone, it's okay? I will just ask you something. Just turn on your microphones and just say, "I can be happy." In 1, 2, 3, start.
I can
Be happy.
I can be happy.
Hey, morning to you all. You are all smiling, so that means you are happy. Special thanks, Stefania, for inviting me today. It was a good chance to come back to Creative Mornings and to know you all. It's strange because these days even if I stay home, my program it's so full, and I didn't know exactly if I can attend to this event, because I have two small kids in the house and a lot of meetings, and now actually they are with my wife in the next room, and they are trying to keep their mouth shut because I had a meeting yesterday, and they're all over me and I couldn't do anything. So I'm happy to speak a little bit with you today. I was thinking to speak a little bit about two concepts, and you can interact with me and ask me whatever you want to ask me. But these two concepts are freedom and happiness, because I was thinking in the last month that freedom and the concept of happiness are losing some fields in front of us. You know that we are all facing a big problem in society. We are facing this virus. We are facing the problem of staying home, and also we are facing what it's happening in our heart, in our souls, because we are not with our friends. We are not in our life as we know it. And my question the question in my mind was, okay, we'll come back in our life, maybe in a month, probably like that, in a few weeks. But how we will come back? That was my big question. And I think if we'll consider that we have lived in a normal life, what it will be normal after these 3 next weeks. So I think we can answer to this question through the concept of freedom and happiness, because it was strange, because I was thinking everybody was feeling before of the virus, and before being or staying in our homes, everybody was not thinking of freedom, or the concept of freedom was a little bit strange understood. Why? Because now we can see that freedom, or you can be free only and only if you respect some rules. You cannot be free like doing anything you want. Everybody was thinking on that. I have a lot of I don't know, papers I've wrote about freedom and statistics, and everybody was thinking on freedom like, okay, I can do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do. But that is not freedom. I can be free if I respect some rules, and I can be free only if if I have this in mind. So now we can see that we can be free in our homes, but we can be free only if we respect some rules. If we respect the rules of the home, the rules of the country, the rules of the city, and so and so and so and so. So I think we can, starting after these 3 weeks, we have to consider how we can be free in a world that has rules. And the other concept, it's happiness. Freedom and happiness, they are connected. So we will be. Are you all happy right now? You can interact with me and ask me anything you want. Okay? Are you all hearing me? Are you there?
Yes.
Guys? Yeah. Okay. So how can you be free, and how can you be happy? This is the first question I want to ask you. And if you just give me some answers, doesn't matter. I will ask Stefania after this. I already started to work a paper, and I will ask Stefania to send it to you. And we can talk about this theme, okay? And after this event, okay? So, are you feeling free? Are you feeling happy right now, guys?
Yes.
No, I can see it's Nico Marian. He said no, no way. Just tell me something. Why, if you are not happy, why you are not happy? We have to understand perfectly. If you don't feel happy or we don't feel free, we have to understand exactly why we are not feeling that. Okay? What is the concept? What does it mean for you, freedom? Just tell me in 2 words or 3 words, doesn't matter.
So for me, it would be having options. And
Yep.
even though we are locked down, we still have options, but we have much less than we used to have before. And that
Okay.
feeling of unhappiness, because maybe right now I do not have the same options that would create the same amount of happiness that I had before. So for example, going out or going into the nature or the mountains or seeing friends and so on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And did you do those things before being locked down?
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, freedom is right now. You consider freedom like something you had and you don't have anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, along those lines.
Okay. And that's the concept. So you are not happy now because you don't feel free.
No, I still feel free, but less free. If there's something like that exists.
Okay.
Because I
Okay.
have fewer options, so I don't have the same amount of options or.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, that's a good answer. Anybody else?
I see happiness as an orgasm, so it's good to have orgasm any so often, but not all the time, because that will be torture. So right now I'm not happy, but I have good chance to be happy later on or something like that. So I think
So for a good orgasm, you also have to work.
yeah, that's why I'm in a meeting right now, and I'm having good coffee. I'm not stressing about stuff that I had to do today, and with little steps, then I can have a great night or maybe have a great day. So I think, I think and I try to get my happiness from short bursts and small things. And when you add up, like, I don't know, compound interest, it makes a lot of difference. So
okay.
I don't rely on a single thing to make me happy, or a single person or a single event, because that's pretty fragile, and usually you get a high tolerance over that. But you can, if you take small steps, it's much harder to have a tolerance or lose that thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And coming back to freedom, I think people who are 100% free don't take any chances and any responsibilities whatsoever. And that's not freedom, that's running away from freedom and a childlike personality. So I think the people that are free are the people that act according to their morals and their, I don't know, code or something like that. So as long as I'm not forced to do anything that I wouldn't do, that's against my principles, then it means I'm free, even if I have to work on something that I don't like or something like that.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. So it could be a nice title for a book, Coming Back to Freedom. That's a good title. Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, for me,
Come
because
on,
I
guys,
said a
smile a
big
little
no.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think there are two sides of freedom. Both are related in, both are about our minds and heads and so on. For me, freedom, it's the power of exploring with somebody else or just with me all that is happening, and explore what we want to explore verbally and socially and so on. And right now, everybody, including me, we are just exploring this COVID-19 apocalypse or something. It's like in the back of their minds or in the society mind, we are talking more about this than we are talking about anything else. So for sure, if we are looking at the amount of information that it's put out there, and we were supposed to talk about it and so on and so on, and digest it, I think that we are not free anymore. So that's the main thing. My mind included, it's always trying to be in this situation, and I can see that I don't have the option to think about something else or to think more in the future, because it's stupid to think in the future right now as we used to do it. So of course we're gonna have some things that we have to consider now, and there are a lot of question marks. And even though I make the effort and not thinking about it, all the people around me, including us right now, we are talking about this, and this is not freedom. So we are all somehow trapped in this momentum and this information.
Okay. Trapped. I will think about trapped. I'm just taking from all of you. I take some ideas and put it down because it's strange. I will tell you after that. But my mind, when I think about freedom, it's like it's easier. Yeah, it's more easy. When I'm free, I don't feel and I don't think about freedom. You know, I'm just fucking free. You know, it's just like when you are in love. When I love somebody, I don't think about that I love that person. I just feel that that feeling. You know, if my wife will ask me, "Hey, Gabi, do you love me?" I know that I fucking have a problem. I already have a problem, you know. Is the same thing about freedom and happiness. When I'm happy, I don't think about happiness. I'm just living that, you know. I'm just happy. But all of these feelings, actually, they are existing if I know what that means before, you know. When I look for happiness, when I look for freedom in the future, just think a little bit, just use your imagination. Yeah. If I think about freedom, happiness, love, and so and so and so, after I will go out from my home, I will have a problem if I don't understand exactly what this concept means, because that was the problem. I think, my opinion, that was a problem before. So in the past normality, you know, that was the problem. Nobody was thinking about this concept. They were just trying to understand them, but superficially. You know, do you all understand what I yeah? So that I think if we're all trying to understand these feelings, I think we have a good chance to create new communities, to create ourselves and understand ourselves. Because I think the problem with us in the last or in the past normality was this one. Yeah, we didn't um, the we didn't want to create communities. We didn't want to stay with the people surround us. And now, actually, now we can see this. We can see this. We can see that we missed our friends. We miss meeting them. We miss seeing them. We miss drink a beer or do stupid things or something like that. Okay. And I think this is the moment when freedom, it's a concept that it's put in like a main theme in our society. I think we discussed about freedom only in 1945, 68, 89, and after that, after 89, nobody was thinking about freedom, just trying to act free, like doesn't fucking cares about, or we didn't care about nobody. You understand? We just thinking that freedom it's something that it's for us and we have the right to be free, but nobody do anything about freedom. Yeah.
Yes. I think a good example of this, it's something that I thought about at the beginning of this crisis. It's how about I don't pick a side in discussions, most when it's a heavy discussion, like um, um, how does it say it? Vaccines.
Yeah.
So about vaccines. So we talked about about vaccines in the past years.
Yeah.
And we talked about the theory of vaccines and so on, because we didn't have this problem. And but we forgot that in the past, when all these vaccines were invented and so on, there were pandemics. And right now, I think we are correlating the idea of a vaccine with the liberty, with freedom, because we didn't used to think about vaccines like this. But right now, we are thinking about vaccines as freedom. So imagine all the people in the past, when they invented the vaccine and they started to vaccinate themselves, they were believing that they will be more free. So this is something that relates to what you are saying. So we have to think about ways of being free, and we are I think that we are evolving in this because we are thinking about our freedom more and more.
Yeah. Somebody else. Thank you, Nico. Somebody else. Hello, Alina. I can see your hair staying really well. So.
Well, morning. My opinion was kind of explained, and it's something a mix of the opinions of Vlad and Heinal. So basically, I don't know. Through all this time, I actually felt really chill. I don't know. I was actually worrying about this. That out of all of my friends and people around me, I was like, okay, like we're gonna stay home. That's what they say, but I mean, it's gonna end, and when it's going to end, it's going to be something different, and we'll have to live to that. Even though a lot of my circumstances changed. I mean, I was not, I wouldn't say trapped, but I had to come home from Romania. I mean, from Romania to Moldova, and I'm actually stuck here, let's say, because I left home like 10 years ago, but it's okay. I mean, I'm with my mom and I'm trying to adapt, let's say. But overall, my like inside feeling is chill as it was before, let's say. I mean, I take this as circumstances, and I don't know. I think it helped me a lot thinking that um, that first of all, I'm not by myself in this, but even though I would be, I don't know, it's upon me to decide how to react to this stuff. I mean, I have two options in this case: to stress out, read all the news, and think about all the like all the things they say there, and to kind of, I don't know, turn on my critical thinking and think that there may be some, I don't know, other stuff about this situation, which I actually did. um, and I don't know, I tried to actually speak to a lot of my friends and not necessarily, I mean, calm them down, and I hope I managed to. Speaking of freedom, I agree with you in this case when you say that it's not something that you think about. Like, I mean, whenever you're free, you don't think about like, oh, is this the moment that I'm free, or this is the moment that I'm happy? I mean, you just have to seize that. And I think you can only achieve that by trying to seize every moment and like live it to the maximum without thinking and without labeling it, because in the end I don't think we really need those labels that, okay, yes, I'm happy. You just need that feeling when it happens. The same about freedom. So yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you, Alina. Yeah, I have to. It's something that we have to take care about. I think that there's no difference between before and after this crisis. Okay, I think it will be a difference or make a difference if we will be the difference. You know, if we will make a difference in the future. Because for me, this crisis it's really important, because now I think is the moment when we can actually, how should I say, we can actually do something. We can actually make something important for us, but not for me, for us, like a community. If we have to learn something from these hard moments, it's that in this life we are not by ourselves, we are not alone. We can be better if we support each other, if we know the people from our, I don't know, our neighbors, if you know the people in our cities, if we know the people in our country, if we build something for our society. I think the paper I was writing speaks about this. Yeah, before this crisis, our problem about freedom was that we were thinking about freedom only thinking about us, but us like ourself, like an ego. Yeah, and I think in the future we have to think about freedom that in the terms like we can be free only together. How do you what do you say about this idea, guys? Is there anybody out there? Hello, is there anybody out there?
Yes, we're here.
Can we be, yeah, can we be, can we be free
I
together?
agree with this actually, because I'm thinking that if my freedom threatens the freedom of another being, then something is wrong. So yes, freedom should be a total state. So I agree with you.
You agree with me, okay? I was thinking it's a bad idea, but so you are agree with me. So we can be free together, yeah. And if we are free together, how our happiness will how should I say will be in our lives. My concept is really simple. I can be free and happy only if you make me happy and free. Um, without ask you to give me something back, you know. I just want my idea to make you happy and to feel free. And I know that if I will do that, I know that you will do that back. uh, of course we need for this we need some education, we need some moral arguments, we need to read a lot, we need to reinvent our educational system, and so and so and so. But I think this will be the challenge for our new society. If we will speak about new societies, I think this will be the new challenge for us to learn, to relearn, if you want to relearn to see in other person a way for me to get to be free and happy. Good morning, Gabriela. You can unmute your microphone.
Hello.
Good morning.
Look. Hey.
So, what do you think? What do you think about this concept of the people that can make me happy and free? It is I don't know. It's an utopia, or it can be done. Do we need the other person in our life, or we can be happy and free by ourselves? You are also you don't look happy and free. Nobody.
I actually wanted to say something here at this point. When you said something about the concept of being happy and free as long as someone does that for us or makes us feel happy or free. And I was actually thinking of the fact that we should not depend on other people to give us those feelings. Of course, people can make us happy because we spend time with them, we do something that we love together, but if we depend on people to make us feel those feelings constantly without us putting an effort or trying to give ourselves that feeling on our own, I think that's not really okay. And we need to learn to create our own happiness and realize the fact that we depend on our own happiness and freedom. I don't know if that's just what I thought of.
Yeah, I will. That's an idea, but I will have to ask you something, Stefania. Do you know who you are? if I don't say your name? Do you know that you are Stefania if I don't say that you are Stefania?
Well, now that's just so confusing.
It's not confusing. It's that easy. I think we can search our happiness only through each other, only through others. You know, because if you, that was the first idea I have marked at the start of this conversation. Yeah, we need to be free. We need to be happy. When I'm free without thinking about freedom. When I'm happy, I'm just happy without thinking that I'm happy. But how these things are possible, we have to ask this. Yeah, how can I be free without thinking about freedom? How can I be happy without thinking about happiness? How can I love somebody or just being in love without thinking about love? And the question is just the people, somebody else, not me. Do you agree on that?
I do.
I do. It was like, do you want to marry me? I do. Yeah, it was that easy. So that was the circle I was thinking to discuss with you today. And just to remind you that in the future, when we will go out, we have to respect more and more the people around us, and trying to understand that by ourselves we are nothing. I think it's strange, or maybe it's strange for you to hear what I'm saying now, but I think it's the only way for us to build better societies and better, how should I say, better us, you know? Yeah, and nobody is saying nothing. That means you are all agree with me. Yes or no?
Or we
Are you
are
still there?
sleepy. We are very sleepy this morning.
Yeah,
I personally find this idea really appealing, that we are interdependent. It's absolutely awesome that we can be self-reliant on a lot of the things that we're doing, and we get the energy and the freedom and the happiness by doing things that we love. But ultimately, my own life has shown me that I am truly happy and free when I'm in a state of flow, and it's difficult to achieve. This crisis to me has been really, really interesting because I feel more connected to my friends and my family. I think it's for the first time that I really, really feel like present in my conversations with people and my friends. I really feel them like not rushing anywhere. They don't have to do groceries or answer phones. They are truly present. So, and I think this crisis also made me a better friend, because I can be there for my friends in different ways. Not offering solutions, not just being there for them when they need to. So I think freedom and happiness are really interesting concepts. And we do depend a lot on other people to achieve those things. But striving for them like some sort of objective doesn't really make sense to me, at least. But instead, I try to focus on finding a state of flow and being truly mindful and present in everything that I'm doing. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So basically, now you realize that you need people.
Actually, no, it's not my first rodeo in this. I've been doing this for quite a few years, and it's been really rewarding, to be honest. But now I feel like I feel like now it's the perfect storm to actually reap the benefits of this practice. It's different. It's absolutely different, but really rewarding.
Thank you, Mirella.
I would also like to add up to what Mirella mentioned, that in order to reach that state of flow, you really need to be authentic to yourself. And by being authentic to yourself and like really knowing yourself, as you mentioned, Gabi, then you can also relate better and closer to the others. So this is I think the key. And then you can also reach the state of being happy with yourself and reaching the state of flow and reaching your true potential.
That's cool. Yeah. Thank you, Vlad.
For me, what's funny is that I do reach very easy the state of flow. I mean, I disconnected totally from the news, and if I get just concentrated in what I do, I'm exactly as nothing would have happened. And I do miss going out and some activities I cannot do at home, but while I'm concentrated in what I'm doing, I mean, I think flow has nothing to do with liberty and freedom. I think it's just being present in what you do, whatever you do.
Okay. Thank you, Raluca. Somebody else? I can come on. I didn't hear your voice. Anka, I can see on the screens. I will just point each of you just to hear your voice a little bit. Anka, what do you say about it? Anka Angel. Hello. Yeah, it's you.
Oh, well, maybe you need like the freedom of mind in order to achieve flow in what you're doing. Because if you're caught up thinking of something else, then you're not really free to be in the present moment. So for me, that's how flow and freedom relate.
Okay. Somebody else? I can see on this screen Andy, Andrea. Hello. Morning.
Morning. Hello.
Are you feeling free?
Well, I guess it's in our advantage to think that freedom is relative. So this period is very good to be adaptive, because that helps us. And you can build your own freedom given these circumstances. So I think, yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with what I've done. It's like I got very creative. So I started, I don't know, gardening in small batches, and all sorts of games that I wouldn't do if I would have the freedom to go out. But there's the urge, you want to go in the car and just go to see your parents and to drive like wherever, you know. I think it's good for a small period, but you cannot have 2-3 months to it's for a short while. So I'm okay, but I'm not very happy.
Okay.
I have happy moments, but
not this one. Yeah, I
moments,
think
you know, I think we all
lost
do.
you.
but it's nice to experiment something different. You know, it's a new situation we have to face, and our brain is very, what the hell is going on? Nothing that worked before, it works now, and you need to create another routine and everything from scratch. I don't know if that answered my your question.
No, you have to answer for you, not for me.
Okay.
For me, your answer doesn't help me, but it will help you.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Yeah. Somebody else. I think we can take two more answers or two more opinions, because Stefania already told us that we have to slowly close everything. So somebody else? Come on, guys. Laurent. Hello, Laurent.
Yeah, well, it's a very interesting talk we are having today. And to be honest, from my point of view, when it comes to freedom, you will never be free. I mean, freedom most of the time comes from deep inside you, based on your principles and also on the social influences. So perfect freedom doesn't exist. You have to know how to adapt and have a clear resilience strategy so you can enjoy the most you have, so you can feel free, so you have that state of mind from my point of view. And in my case, all this period was really a bless because it made me come out of my comfort zone, challenge my principles, my way of thinking, and made me transform myself, see how I'm adapting in different situations, what can I do to come back to that equilibrium, you know, find activities and so on. Oh, you know, all these things are very subjective. I mean, there are no right answers, you know. I mean, even happiness. Vlad said that it's okay to have happiness from time to time, but even that, although you find a source of happiness at the moment, later on that source might not bring you happiness. So that's also relative. So everything is relative in life, and you have to know how to adapt and be resilient.
Okay, guys. Nothing is relative. Just try to try to have some guidelines in your life. Try to. It's easy to say everything is relative. Everything can be done. Everything is different, but it's not like that. We have the rule. We have rules in our lives. We have to understand the rules, and we have to be free in that rules, because this I don't start this talk so long, but in the end, I will just have to say just a little idea, just an idea. Try from now on, try to make somebody happy, and I think you can be free. It's not a philosophy. It's that easy. Try to make somebody happy, and you can be free. And you will see that start our life can be a part of something, can be a part of everything. We will transform us in a part of something, you know. So that will be my last idea for today, and I will you can connect with me on Facebook, or I will ask Stefania. I told you from the start that I will send you all a paper about this concept about freedom and happiness in the new era post coronavirus. And that was the last idea. Try to make somebody happy, and I think you can be free. So if you have something else to say it now, or just be happy. Guys,
Thank you, Gabi. That's really noble. You know, it's something to strive for, and to leave our selfish egos aside for a moment.
yeah, because you can see when you are only by yourself, you have some problems about freedom, and you have some problems about happiness, and you have some problems about love, and so on and so on and so on. So from now on, just try to think more to others, and to understand that you can actually be free without thinking about freedom, and happy without thinking about happiness, and loving without thinking about loving, yeah, because of somebody else. That was what I wanted to tell you in this morning, having a cup of coffee and see your eye. Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much,
thank you for today.
Thank you, Gabi. Good talk.
Have a great day,
And
everybody.
even though we're at a distance, but we're still together, before we end, if you would agree to open your webcams and have a group photo with your favorite coffee mug.
Well, mine is empty, so.
Well, it doesn't have to be full.
I have my first coffee at 5 a.m. So now
No,
I'm
that's an
on
authentic morning
whiskey,
person.
so I'm already on whiskey. So
So at 3, 2, 1. Good morning. Yay.
Super.
Okay, and to wrap up, as we also I will invite you again in a small session of breakout room with different people, and maybe just to share for 3 minutes your takeaway from the discussion we had today. Thank you for joining. Welcome back. And all I want to wish you all today, it's a lovely day, and see you next Friday.
Bye-bye.
thank you all.
Bye.
Have a nice life.
Bye. Have a nice weekend.
Nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend.